Hello, 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 and welcome back to the SLE. Today we are going to be streaming two games, the first of which being Team Evo versus Team CCG, and the second game is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Team Negative Energy versus VIS eSports today. Again, with Jonas. Welcome, Jonas. How you feeling today? Mm-hmm. Of course, and if we did we see the first game? I remember correctly. I think we saw a Yasuo Diana comp come out from Team Evo. But that being said, I think CCG not you know not unused to playing more scaling comps. We know they did it from CRK with a great come from behind victory. Um, but yeah, overall, I think we have the potential for a seriously strong set of games here, and I'm super excited to get into these drafts.
Well, I've realized that I didn't use my correct mic on OBS, so they haven't heard anything that I said. So it's only been Brady that heard it. That's unlucky.
10 out of 10. You guys missed some good analysis right there.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that is unlucky, but it is fine.
Of course. Again, moving on into the draft. Team Evo versus CCG. Team
Yes.
Evo on Team Blue. Team CCG Team Red. What do you think? I mean, let's start with the bans. What do you think of these bans so far? Do you think both teams have done their homework, or do you think there's a clear game plan coming out here?
I mean, okay, so let's break them down. We see blue side here. They banned the
Mhm.
Viego, they banned the Azir, and they banned the Kassadin. From my understanding, I know that the Oblivion he is a Viego player himself,
Mhm.
so I'm guessing that without knowing CCG's lineup, that they have a Viego OTP or like a heavy Viego main in the
Mhm.
jungle. Um, and the Kassadin Azir, I mean, it's not your typical blue side bans in the current meta, so I'm
Mhm.
guessing it must be some OTP again,
Of course, yeah.
or
Done their
heavy main.
homework.
Yeah,
Cardinal does play these champions. I think he did play the Azir in his previous game. So perhaps Evo not liking that scaling option, and they actually have opted to ban two scaling mages in the mid lane. So
mm,
we shall see. And I mean, again from the side of CCG, not
yeah,
happy with the Yasuo Diana, I'm thinking, from the previous Evo game, and then showing the respect over to the Renekton because it is such a powerful pick. I find that it's been underutilized in my opinion, especially in this SLE play-in tournament. But CCG not underestimating the power of the Renekton. Again, the Rakan and the Yasuo, again, two very strong team fighting, roaming champions. So yeah, I think both sides definitely done their homework and some good bans, but moving into the first picks, the
yeah.
Lee Sin B1
I mean,
into.
decent B1, it's not really something you do at the moment.
Mhm,
Preferably you want to see something like the Jinx, the Caitlyn,
mhm,
perhaps even the Jhin if both of the prior ADCs is banned
are
out.
gone.
The Viego, you could even do LeBlanc in some scenarios.
Of course.
But listen, it's a very it's a very high prio pick,
Yeah.
but just not on B1.
Mhm.
But I'm guessing it's because Obsidian he is a highly listen main and
Okay,
can
and I
play this
mean,
very well. Um,
I feel like Lee Sin is like the bread and butter of any like good jungle champion pool. You know what I mean? This champ is so like
yeah,
versatile. It pretty much fits into any comp. You want engage, the man's gonna engage. You want like pick potential, the man has pick potential. He can kind of do everything. So
definitely, definitely.
if you can play the Lee Sin, I think it's always high priority pick. Obviously, not quite the meta at the moment, but I think it definitely still holds value.
It definitely does. I mean, Lee Sin is kind of the champion. He will always be slightly relevant in
Hmm.
whatever
Hmm.
meta it is. I mean,
Agreed, and yeah, I
like he
mean,
just have so much power, and
mhm.
and he can do so many things. He can play pure. He can play like this for the flashy Lee Sin playstyle where you only look to kick.
Yeah, the insects coming out.
Yeah, and you can also play the carry where you like play more slow,
Hmm.
and you take your time with it, and you yeah,
Of
or
course.
you can play the frontliney thing where you go more of
Yeah.
a tankier
Now,
build and stuff.
CCG, on the other hand, opting for the Zac, I think when you pick the Zac, you know what you're getting into. You don't care about your camps. You care about getting E, maxing that, and you're going straight into ganking these lanes and trying to get them as far ahead as possible. Now, what do you think about just Zac right now as a champion versus, I don't know, perhaps its role in this team comp for CCG?
I mean, if we only see the two Zac and Lulu and not see the rest of the
Mm-hmm.
comp, then it's kind of I would say very interesting to say at least. That they would pick it up. You would prefer a more of a meta jungler, like maybe a Xin Xiao, because Xin Xiao
Mm-hmm.
Lulu is so strong right now. They just work perfectly, but Zac is not really a meta champion at the moment. I can see with the rest of the comp why they would have a beefy frontline.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they planned it like that, then I can see why they want to do it. Um,
Yeah, I agree. And I think, again, if I'm not mistaken, Google Me, the jungler from CCG, is very accustomed to playing the Zac. I can't remember whether or not he played it last game. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But generally, if you're comfortable on a champion, pick the champion. No one here is a challenger player, all right? No one here is perfect. So I think drafting for comfort is also something extremely underrated. But yeah, I think moving on, the LeBlanc Blitz and then the Vayne R3 pick. I mean, I
yeah,
think LeBlanc Lee Sin is a very standard, strong kind of, I think, what, 2v2 skirmishing, mid jungle.
yeah, exactly. It's just so strong. LeBlanc gets prio into a lot, and if she
Mhm.
doesn't, she can always, like with Lee Sin, if you land the chain in the early game and Lee Sin is there to gank it, it's
Yeah.
pretty much either you force a flash and you kill it next time
Hmm.
that you gank it, or you get the kill and
Yeah.
perhaps even burn a flash as well. So you have to stay very far away from this LeBlanc and Lee Sin
Yeah.
and
And
stand on your side.
on top of all that, the Blitzcrank pick. Now, I know there are a lot of champs in the game that like to see scrappy team fights and like to make little picks here and there, but I don't think there are as many champions in the game that are anywhere near as like prolific as like Blitzcrank at like pushing. Man goes Mobies, he's just gonna yoink someone out from under their tower. LeBlanc Lee Sin just sat waiting mid lane. I think this pick has a lot of merit in what Team Evo appear to want to do so far in the draft with these picks, with these little 3v3 or 2v3 advantage skirmishes that they have with the LeBlanc and the Lee Sin.
Yeah, definitely, and also just because if Lulu tries to roam with Blitzcrank,
Mm-hmm.
she will just kind of die
She's
because
just gonna get hooked. She's gonna get stunned up. That's
exactly
gonna be that. You can't really compete. But
she
I
can't really
think,
roam with him, and Blitzcrank just gets free roams all around the map.
yeah. But
Um,
the response Vayne pick. Now, as a Vayne player myself, I do love the Lulu Vayne in particular. It has a lot of presence, more presence in lane than you might expect. Some great all in, but things that it lacks, and you're not gonna get a whole lot of wave control because obviously Vayne is not the greatest wave clearing AD carry, especially when compared to say a Jinx, a Caitlyn, and a Felios, those kind of more meta picks at the moment. But especially if you can find a couple early kills and get into that mid to late game Vayne that we are all so terrified of, especially with the Lulu, you could find yourself a pretty monstrous side laning champion there in the Vayne. And I think especially for a Blitzcrank, for LeBlanc, for Lee Sin, Vayne is one of the harder AD carries to get on top of for sure.
it definitely is. I mean, Vayne just got an easy time kiting
Hmm.
these melee champions, and then on top of that, having a beefy frontliner like the Zac, and
Yeah.
having a Lulu on your side, it's gonna be very hard to catch this Vayne out.
Hmm.
Um,
And then, yeah, going into second ban phase, again, we immediately see the respect Caitlyn ban. because we all know if you're picking Vayne, the standard pick, you just pick Caitlyn and you just win. That's just how it
Yeah.
goes. It's a bit sad, but yeah, they really respect the Caitlyn, ban that out. They also opt to ban out the Draven. I mean, you have a Blitzcrank. You have a very snowball early game heavy kind of comp. Why not stack up and pick a Draven as well, right? So I think there's definitely merit to that ban.
Mm.
Meanwhile, Evo opting for again perhaps slightly more meta bans with the Vex, with the Victor. I'm actually surprised that the Victor wasn't picked up earlier, but again, it's not going to make it through the second round of bans. The Vex, the Victor, both very strong champion picks, but CCG opting instead for the Vladimir. Again, we're seeing a bit of a theme with the CCG. They have the Vayne, the Lulu, the Vlad. So very scaling, very late game comp coming in here for CCG. Kind of similar to what they were doing last game with the Azir Kog'Maw Lulu comp. But I mean, again, Evo perhaps defaulting to something slightly more meta with the Jinx. I also think Gwen is quite well positioned in the meta at the moment in the top lane. And then
Yeah. I mean, Gwen is
rounding
pretty
off,
broken
yeah.
at the
The
current
champ
state.
is Gwen is a mute. It's a good one. But yeah, I mean,
Mm.
final champ, the R5 Ornn pick. I mean, I think that just confirms what everyone's thinking. CCG want to relax this early game. They want to try and just, weather the storm a little bit, survive the LeBlanc, the Blitz, the Lee Sin, that kind of thing. And then they want to come out of the gate when everyone has like 2-3 items, Ornn's maybe level 14, level 15, and really try to make a couple of strong team fights happen for them. But yeah, I mean, I think both teams have pretty clear game plans. So I think, without further ado, we should get straight into Summoner's Rift. It's going to be Team Evo versus Team CCG. Welcome back to the SLE. Whew, I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
what do you
I
think
just need
here?
to change tabs
Yeah,
and
go ahead. I
then
think
we will.
you've got the Blitz, right? Do you go for that cheesy level 1 invade, right? You have the Blitz, you have maybe LeBlanc starts chain as well. I think you have very good potential to go for this level 1 kill. And they might look to do that. They are pathing towards the bot lane. However, CCG also perhaps just going to look to stack a brush here as all members from both teams are headed towards that bot side of the map.
Yeah. I mean, with the Blitzcrank, as you said, this is very strong level 1, and
Oh,
if you get the hook.
Lulu might get caught.
Oh, they
They
do.
are going
Lulu
to...
do spot them out.
True, they are going to get spotted as Yon kind of playing distraction here as the rest of CCG is now going to find Evo kill. Might look for something here. Hits the hook onto the Ornn, and, well, Lee Sin Q goes down. There's not a whole lot to do. First blood, great hook. I mean, this is just Blitzcrank, right?
Yeah.
Priest forced to flash away because the chain connects, and then, I mean, Blitzcrank with a great hook over the wall. Yeah, super standard stuff.
Very standard. But something we didn't quite look at is that the Lulu actually placed the ward inside the alcove bush, I'm guessing it's called, which is
Sure, yeah.
something a lot of bot laners are starting to do.
Mm-hmm.
It just gives that extra lane pressure in
True.
terms that you have a ward in the bush, you can see into the bush
Yeah,
that
yeah.
champs like Blitzcrank usually want to play into.
A lot of bot lane and pressure and whoever comes for these early shoves comes from whichever support can work their way into that brush and find control and find like zone control. So definitely warding that brush is what we're seeing a lot more some bot lane combos doing. But yeah, generally we're just gonna, I think, as expected, the Jinx is just gonna get the shove on with the Blitz.
Yeah.
Vayne kinda at the mercy of this lane until later on. But yeah, what do you think of the jungle paths in this early game?
I mean, it makes sense for Obsidian to path down towards the bot lane, play for this Jinx Blitzcranks that will obviously,
Oh,
as we get a.
the hook does go down. The ignite does also come out. Blitz with the flash auto, not gonna get that kill. The second kill of the game would have been, thanks very much to that Vayne heal. But again, this is exactly what we expect out of the Blitzcrank. I mean, it is a kill lane, as there's some heavy trading going on in the top lane there. Lee Sin also on his way up to this top side. Ornn might be in trouble here, but he doesn't have the flash.
I think
Again, he
he's
might be
pretty
baited.
much death here.
Yeah, there go the cooldowns. Lee Sin Q connects, and easy as that. That is going to be Evo Bobo going to pick up that kill. 2 kills now over to the side of Evo. This is exactly what you want. You have the Lee Sin, you have a LeBlanc, you have a Blitz. You want to get these early leads, and this is exactly what's happening. The Ornn flash was punished. However, cross map might come out here as Zach is going to get spotted. Zeus is forced to flash away. Does the Q connect? No, it does not, and it is going to look like nothing is going to come from this. As LeBlanc is also roaming down river now. Google Me does need to be careful as Blitz does knock him up. Glacial Augment lands the hook into the Chompers, and I mean, that's just going to be pick up. Zach passive going to go down, but it is not going to save him, and they are going to donate this kill over to Zeus.
I mean, this is very nice to see that they're actually donating the kill over to the Jinx. So
True,
just so she can get that extra lead, and snowball even harder.
Yeah, I agree, and again, that's Zach, but that also is Zach's passive gone. I mean, some great mid awareness and roaming potential. Obviously, it's a Vlad. You're not going to have a difficult time getting out of that lane if you want priority, but again, Zach just not respecting it as Evo kill, really looking to pressure that lane, really forcing Juji and Satisfiable back behind their tower. That empowered Q gonna land from Vlad. That never feels good. Lee Sin also looking for that topside invade as another hook will go down onto Juji. No heal, does have the flash, has to flash away. I mean, it feels like every single hook is landing, and every single hook is a summoner at least, if not a kill.
Yeah, I mean, Kill is really doing well on this Blitzcrank
Look
here.
for this. He takes the hook in and Warthops over. Did he secured that, right?
Yeah,
Did I see that
I'm
correctly?
quite
Wow.
sure that he did.
And we are looking at that dive bot lane. Does not connect, but Bobo might... Okay, never mind. Nothing gonna happen in the end there. The Blitz hook just barely missing, and it is action all over the map here.
That definitely is. And this is a classic SLE game. All we're needing is a pause, and then it would be iconic SLE game. I mean, we do love the action. I mean, it's nice to see that everyone is fighting their way to the victory.
I agree, but Evo finding themselves coming out on top time and time again in these fights, because I mean, again, this is what they drafted to do, and CCG just doesn't really have the firepower at the moment to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, this was also this was also something that I was a bit worried about CCG's draft, because they have drafted themselves 3 losing lanes, and 5 scaling champions, so they don't really have anything to say in the early game. Whereas Evo have drafted themselves, like, I guess you could call Blitzcrank an early game champion as well. So 3 early game and 2 later game.
True, with the Gwen,
champions.
with the Jinx, you
Yeah,
have
exactly.
that scaling.
And,
I find that Evo's draft is perhaps a little bit more flexible in what they can do, as we do see a lot of trading going on into the top lane. It is going to look like perhaps a battle to the death. Ornn does have the flash. Gwen is going to just pick that kill up. No flash away from the Ornn. Evo Bobo pops the ghost, and I mean, again, it just seems interesting as to why CCG are opting into these fights and these skirmishes when they know that they have the scaling comp and they want to scale. The TP will be forced out now from Priest, but a Bobo might get caught here. Ornn charge comes down. Ornn also hits 6. The Gwen ulti comes down. The Ornn horn also comes down. Knockup connects, but the Conqueror healing. Ornn forced to flash away. And again, nothing gonna happen there. Both ultis forced, but in the meantime, Blitzcrank is gonna get engaged onto by Google Me, forced to flash away, but the hook return comes out, and now there just isn't enough damage on the follow-up with Obsidian coming in for that counter gank, and Zach is just gonna get picked up here. Woo, and I mean, they might even look for more. They might look for the dive. Obsidian, I'm not sure how close to level 6 he is, but they are aggressively shoving this in.
We can check if I can hit him. He's
not,
a bit
but they
far
are going to
away.
look for this dive. No summoners onto the vein. She tumbles the Lee Sin Q, but Lulu is trapped here. The chain chompers go down. The blitz hook. However, it is going to be a trade kill.
It's a bit unlucky. I mean, they just didn't juggle the what's it called? The aggro correctly. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit unlucky, but nothing major. It's a Lulu that gets the kill anyway. And they did secure themselves a kill, and they got the wave on the tower, and the CCG's bot lane lost around like 1 wave. a
True,
cannon wave,
definitely
so
advantage over
it
two Evo there.
yeah.
And they will also look to pick up this Drake. It is just going to be a Cloud Drake. I don't know what you think of Cloud Drake at the moment, but I'm not a fan as Evo Kill is in the mid lane here. They might look to pick up Cardinal as he does get rooted. The ulti chain also connects. The Vladimir Hemoplate comes down, but it will not be enough. Blitzcrank going to pick up another kill.
Ian
Woo!
just casually getting KS'd by kill.
True. Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted to see. I mean, there's so much CC setup if that LeBlanc chain initially hits, and I don't think Cardinal was expecting that amount of CC because, if I'm not mistaken, he still had his pool available to him, but again, there's just too much CC
Yeah. Well,
on
I
the
mean,
side.
he needs to pull the before the chain
Mhm.
hits, because if
Yeah,
he didn't pull, he will still get rooted from
yeah.
the LeBlanc chain.
The tether is the thing. Is Bobo looking to take a lot of poke damage here? I mean, Gwen does have a lot of sustain with the Conqueror as well, but again, needs to be a little bit careful. Not Vlad, sorry, Zach and Lee Sin both on the top side of the map, but a huge XP. Wait, is Vlad level 6 as well? Or not Vlad, Zach level 6 as well? Never mind. I was gonna say there's a huge
Yes.
XP discrepancy. There is not a huge XP discrepancy. There might be a bit of a gold discrepancy though. We do see a 5k gold lead in
There is a
9
1.2k
minutes.
gold difference in the jungle, so definitely
Mm-hmm.
a gold difference.
Again, more kind of heavy trading as Boba does try to just get this wave crashed under tower. Might look for a reset here, but again, it wouldn't surprise me if Gwen reset here, picked up full items again. Evo Kill, really? My goodness.
Yeah, he's really just looking for
Hunting
these
for these
hooks
hooks.
every single second of this laning phase. I mean, this
Of
is also
course.
what he's supposed to do, like
Yeah.
keep the pressure onto them and keep them scared, because otherwise they will just get a free laning, and
Mhm.
then you will meet a Vayne Lulu later
Yeah.
on that has been
And you're
scaling for
not.
free, which is not nice.
But again, Evo Kill doing a great job here as Obsidian does look for the lane gank, but I'm not sure if he is just looking for the Herald or they are going to look for like a dive play or something. But Zach, again, is here. Google Me might look to engage. This is the E is channeled. He goes in, just barely misses the knockup. Flashes forward with the ulti. Lee Sin ulti response. And now it is an all-out brawl as Vayne ults in. Lulu ult goes down. The super mega death rocket connects. Vayne is forced to flash away. And now CCG on the run here. Obsidian may be looking for more. But again, this 3v3 in the bot lane is just not working out for CCG as Lee Sin flashes forward, the Q connects, and the interrupt on the second part of the Q comes in from Google Me there, and Lee Sin is shot down. However, the hook also lands, and that is going to be a dead Lulu. The Excite goes through, Zach loses his passive again, and Vayne is forced to run away, and that is going to be another kill over to Evo Zeus, and the first tower, but
Yeah,
woo!
I mean,
It is go 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 go.
it definitely is. I mean, we have to give credits to Obsidian when he does this kind of play. I mean, I'm guessing that his thought process was that he would counter gank the gank that he was seeing,
Yeah.
um, and they will obviously win every single 3v3.
Yeah.
A bit aggressive that he flashed forward to Q and then took it as well, but
I mean,
I mean,
look, I'm a big fan of these confident plays. When players are feeling themselves, you want to go for a flash Q, my guy, go for a flash Q. As Yeon now, the chains is just going to be a small trade. As top lane, we also see some light trading. But again, everyone around the mid lane as there's the forward, the Hemoblade goes down as well as the W, the flash of the super mega death rocket and the Lee Sin Q, and now Google Me comes in, picks up the kill, but does he have enough to get out now as it will be traded 1-for-1, maybe 1-for-2 as the Jinx excitement just manages to net her that double kill, and now Jinx is 5-0.
yeah, I mean, this is very nice macro from Evo here, putting in that when they got that bot turret, then putting their ADC into mid lane to get some more plays, because Vladimir doesn't really have any wave clear, so they can easily put the Jinx in the mid lane to farm some more plays,
Yeah.
and then have the LeBlanc in the side lane, push in those waves, move up towards mid lane again, pressure this mid tower even more, and then look into the objectives that is coming up.
Totally, and Evo Bobo will drop the ulti. Priest is going to be forced to turn around here as Conqueror does proc. He will turn around, takes a tower shot, and now the Ornn ult comes through. It's going to be W'd by Bobo there, and again, 2 trade of ultis as now the flash hook from Kill does land onto Google Me, but it does look like Zach is just going to jump out, but Evo Kill is not done yet. He will chase him all the way back, and I don't think they're gonna let him leave here as Priest is gonna be forced to TP back in, but it might be to his demise as Evo do not look too phased. Never mind, they are not gonna opt for it. And now Cardinal looking for a slightly aggressive trade there onto Obsidian as they do identify that no one is around the mid lane as they did just put a lot of resources into the top, and now Evo Kill will just come back to the mid and make sure everything's okay. As Cardinal's getting engaged on, the chain will connect. He is going to be rooted. The hook is going to connect, and Vlad has no pool. He drops his ult for, I don't know, fun.
Damage shot.
Unfortunate there, but again, this is exactly what you were saying earlier. You have to pull the initial chain from the LeBlanc, otherwise it will root you regardless.
Yeah.
And now CCG might be caught out again as Evo does just run at them. The hook will connect down onto Lulu. The Lulu ult will come out, but ultimately it will be for nothing as another kill goes over to Team Evo. They will also pick up the dragon, and what was a 5k goal lead is now a 9k goal lead as they do start to pick up those first blood towers, and those first times do come in as Gugumi does land the E in onto Jinx. They do get the condemn, and the kill unfortunately does go on to the Zac there, but some good CC. But Evo not done here as the Blitzcrank will hook Gugumi over the wall. Lee Sin kick, Q connects, and now Cardinal is in no man's land. Never mind, he will just, I think Evo settling there for the Zac, the trade kill back, but whew.
Yeah, I mean, very unlucky that the what was it, 950 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 950 gold went over to the Zac instead of the Vayne. If you do get that extra gold into the Vayne, maybe she can start to carry, because you are 9k behind.
Yeah.
So you need to get some gold onto your carries, which is Vayne of Lead, and then
Yeah.
and if you don't, then it's looking very, very rough for you at this stage, because it's only, what, 15 minutes in? Yes, it is 15
yeah.
minutes, yes.
15 minutes in, Jinx is sitting at 2 full items plus boots. 6 kills,
yeah.
40 CS lead.
This is
up
a
how much?
3.6k.
I mean, Bobo here looking to take this 2v1 as Priest does drop the Super Mega Death Rocket from nowhere, gets the snipe kill though, and now Lulu caught out. Blitzcrank hook comes down and Google Me does survive, but at what cost? A great collapse there from Team Evo.
Yeah, I mean, Team Evo is really just taking control of this game. They're doing every proactive play they can do, which can be dangerous at sometimes, but when you have this massive goal lead, then I don't think that there is a fight at the moment that they could take that they would lose.
I mean, Evo just putting those wallets to work. They own this map. They own this jungle. This is not Google Me's jungle anymore. It is Team Evo's jungle, as we are seeing now a little bit of vision denial. And Yeon looking here onto Cardinal. Does he have the damage to go? He will jump over the wall. The ulti comes down. The chain will connect, but again,
no chain. No, I don't think.
Did the chain not connect there? Did it hit a minion?
I don't think it did.
It would have stunned him. Yeah, true. Never mind. But again, we're seeing just how much damage and priority these laners have, because yes, okay, Yeon is up what I'm assuming to be a lot of gold.
Yeah,
but
1.7.
Again, he's also sitting on 1k gold. So that trade, I feel like the effective gold on both champions was roughly even, and yes, okay, Yeon had a bit of a jump onto Cardinal there, but again, it's just at 17 minutes into the game, at 1 item into the game, the Vladimir has just not got the resources available to him to respond as Evo Kill will look to protect his pink ward as Gugumi will get hooked. The Q will connect. The silence goes down. The bounce house comes out as he will get out of that one as the Super Mega Death Rocket will not find the kill.
I think Obsidian kinda saved Google Me there.
Did he kick him backwards?
Yeah, he kicked him towards his tower.
As Yeon and Cardinal are gonna meet in the jungle again, as the Ornn is gonna pop the ulti. It is just gonna go wide, and now perhaps Evo might look for a re-engage as Juji might get caught here. Evo kill looking, the hook just goes wide.
I mean, Kill has been very dangerous on this Blitzcrank. Like, his hook rate must be like 80% or something like that.
He has really been on top of the carries of CCG this game.
Yeah,
And
he definitely
the
have.
second Herald goes down. Obsidian not gonna get pulled there by Google Me, but I mean, this is exactly what we mean by only having scaling options available to you. As Yeon is just gonna look to tower dive here. The emo page is gonna come out from Cardinal. Is it gonna be enough to save him? The flash away for buying time, but it is not gonna be enough as the Ignite will secure that kill with that last fadeaway auto from Yeon. I mean, a good attempt made there from Cardinal, and I don't think he could have played that much better.
I mean, this is also something that they need to do. They need to try and get these kills and get these shutdowns so they can get back into this game. If they don't get it, then this game will be over very soon. But if they can get like a lucky team fight, if they can get a pick out on one of Evo's carries, then they will have a chance to come back into this game. I'm a bit surprised that the Zeus still doesn't have a shutdown. It did get picked up, but I feel like he should have a shutdown again.
Yeah, with the amount of money he has, I assume he's nearly 5k, nearly doubling the income of Juji in this game, and I mean...
Yeah, he has the highest gold in the game without a shutdown.
No shutdown. I mean, one thing I would like to touch on, right, is the level of vision control Evo has. They have, like, a vice grip on this jungle here, of CCG's jungle.
I mean, we can take a look at what CCG can see. It's not a lot. It's barely... Yeah, you can see the red buff. And then let's see how much the Evo can see. I mean, it's quite a lot more than what
night and day.
Yeah, I mean, it is like night and day.
CCG are kind of just forced. They're kind of walking around blindfolded. Sin was supposed to be the blind one. Unfortunately, it is looking like Google is gonna collapse them by Evo kill again. The Ignite gonna go down. The ult gonna come down from Google Me, but it is not gonna save him. And I mean, this is exactly what we mean about vision. You can't blindly walk into your jungle because you just don't have any control. And now that the jungler is dead, they will just look to start up this Baron, as they do see the Vlad in the bot lane. But yeah, it's gonna be hard for them to contest this. Perhaps Ornn looks for a steal with his ulti, but I can't see this going any other way than Obsidian's right now.
No, I mean, I think that I think CCG is just gonna slowly bleed out from this like point. Now Evo got the Baron. Now it's kind of looking really rough.
Priest gonna be forced away there. I wonder if they will look for a dive.
I mean, they
super
could
far ahead, but
probably do it, but then again, it's an Ornn. He is very tanky.
Yeah.
So you probably just want to focus on getting the mid push and then moving towards one of those outer turrets. What was I gonna...
Everyone's converging onto this top side here. They do really want this top lane tower, but again, CCG, no stranger to playing with their backs against the wall. They have done this, and they did come out with a win last time against CRK with this scaling comp. I wonder if they can just hold on for long enough, as the flash forward W ult is just going to completely one-shot Cardinal, as they are going to look for a huge engage now. Shirelias go forward, the Gwen ulti as well. Gumi tries to peel, but it is too much damage coming from Zeus. It is going to look like a full ace, as they might look to dive Priest here. They say no, but they are going to march down onto the base, but Zeus is not done, gets excited. Priest going to be forced to flash away, and he will TP back, but it is just going to look like the end here from Team Evo. A clean game. Ornn goes unstoppable, not gonna matter. Picked up, clean ace from Evo Zeus, and they will march down onto the Nexus here of Team CCG.
Yeah, I mean, very clean game from Team Evo here. They just had control of the game every single stage of the game, and I think it's mainly because that CCG drafted this full scaling comp. I don't really think that this was the play. Like usually you wanna like have maybe 30% scaling in your comp, and or like maybe if you're playing the scaling team comp, then like
Yeah.
50 to 60%. Um,
But you need an outlet in that early game to
yeah, exactly. You need something in the
provide.
early game that
Yeah.
can carry you, or yeah, carry you through the early game, so that those late game monsters can come in and they can take over the game. But CCG just didn't really have that, so Team Evo had a really easy time just
Yeah.
tunneling through that early game.
And yeah, I mean, once they had the lead, it became very, very difficult. Because I mean, again, Jinx with the lead, once she starts getting those excited procs off, it becomes extremely difficult to keep up with her. And not only that, she scales like a monster too. So it's, I think, the resource allocation from Team Evo in that game was very, very well done. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we are gonna take a 5-minute break now. And then when we come back, we will be getting into VIS eSports versus Team Negative Energy. Did I get that right? I think I got that right.
Negative mental energy.
Negative Mental Energy. I'm sorry. Team Negative Mental Energy versus Team IS. We shall see you guys in about 5 minutes. See you then. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We are just about to get into Game 2 VIS Esports versus Team Negative Mental Energy after an extremely aggressive Game 1 from Team Evo versus Team CCG. Unfortunately for Team CCG, they went that draft, they went for that scaling comp, but they just couldn't hang on for long enough to survive. However, that is now in the past. So, without further ado, I think, let's just jump straight into the draft, right? Team VIS Esports versus Team NME.
In 2 seconds, then we're ready to jump into draft.
All good, man. You take your time, but immediately, what jumps out to you from picks from bans? Tell me what you're seeing.
Okay, so blue side bans, we see the Kaiser, the Thresh, the Six. I mean the Kaiser ban. I'm assuming negative mental energy has like a Kaiser main. Otherwise, this ban seems kind of weird to me, since Kaiser really is meta and she's not really that strong. Even
Sure.
with that new build, it's just debate. The Thresh ban, I like it. It takes away some safety from some of these meta ADCs that we see, like the
Yeah.
Jinx, the Aphelios, perhaps even the Jhin in some cases. And then the 6 ban, it says that you want to play very aggressive bot lane. You don't want to play against something that can just wave clear and neutralize the lane. You want to play aggressive. You want to fight in the bot lane. And from enemy side, the TF ban, very strong mid laner. Not the strongest at the moment in the meta, but TF is always broken in the competitive scene. With that ulti, you can be all around the map. And the Lulu ban, Lulu is just an annoying support.
Yeah.
She buffs up two of the best ADCs right now, the Fearless and the Jinx, which we will also see be banned, the Jinx. Probably the best B1 champion you can do at the current stage, so very nice bans so far. And then we see a Gwen first pick. Particularly, I don't really like it. I think it's a bit too early. But I mean, it is a very strong champion at the moment, don't get me wrong. She is very, very broken. But I think it has counters in terms of like the Jax. That is a very snowballing matchup. If one side gets ahead, then it's gonna be unplayable for the other side.
Do you see it as a bit of a flex pick at all, perhaps being moved into that jungle role, or do you completely unviable jungle? You're trolling like don't
I think at this level of play, it can definitely be done. But at the higher stages, at the higher levels of play, then it can't. I'm not sure how good Gwen's clear is at the moment, but I would assume that it's probably full clearing around like 320 or something around that. So it doesn't really clear fast, but it is a strong pick. Ganking potential is not really that good unless you have the red buff and the ghost to keep getting those autos in and getting your lethal tempo procced.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wouldn't really see it as a flex pick.
So how about we look at that red side, R1 Xin Zhao. We've been speaking about it last draft. We know that it is extremely meta at the moment. Unfortunately, the Lulu is banned. But what do you think of that Xin insta lock from Team Negative Mental Energy here?
I think Xin Zhao is probably one of the most broken junglers at the moment. So it makes sense that they want to get this. I guess you can call it like a beefy frontline because of the ulti and how that works, and how the build path works with the Gordringer and the Starax gauge, and you just get very tanky from those two items. And then in combination with like Mercs or Tabis,
you just become unkillable.
Yeah, pretty much, and especially if you get ahead as well, then you become even more unkillable, and you're just very annoying to deal with. The enemy ADCs can't hit you before you, or until your ulti runs out.
Yeah,
and those that are standing near you doesn't really damage you.
True. And if they're standing near you, they're probably gonna die pretty shortly afterwards. But yeah, I mean, followed up with the Xayah R2 pick. I mean, what do you think about Xayah right now as a champion, and what does she really like provide to this team?
I think Xayah is breaking up the ADC meta. Let's break it up like this. I think there's currently 5 playable ADCs, and the rest is only playable if those 5 aren't playable. Which is the Senna that is playable, the Aphelios, the Jhin, the Caitlyn, and the Jinx. Those 5 top prio ADCs.
Now,
which is...
you say that, but what's interesting here is despite only one of those being banned, none of the remaining 480 carries have been picked, as we do see the Zaya, and then we see the Lucian army.
Yeah.
And I mean, immobile
Um.
80 carry and Zaya, Lucian Nami. I feel like definitely a good early game option when you're running a Gwen, for example, in the top side.
Mm.
Definitely a lot of kill threat there. And I mean, enemy do respond with the Rakan, which again, I think Zaya Rakan is quite a strong 2v2 bot lane, but it becomes kind of blurred because I mean, look, I feel like this bot lane, this game should be a bloodbath because Lucian Nami want to kill you. And Zaya
Mm.
Rakan, yes, they can play safe and Rakan can go and roam, but I also feel like we're gonna get to it later. But with that GP pick, you're definitely playing for that strong side bot side. So I definitely love to see both junglers pathing down towards the bot side of this map. But yes, I think moving on to the second ban phase here. Both teams opted for their bot lane plus jungle pick. VIS eSports looking for those top lane bans. They say, look, you have Lucian Nami. We're going to ban top laners, despite not recognizing that they are just going to be sending Gwen top. I'm not sure if Team Negative Mental Energy do have a Gwen jungle player, but... Or, wait, what am I talking about?
Yeah,
I've
you,
completely
you
muddled
you
this
have
up.
switched it
Yeah.
around.
Again,
um,
opting to ban tanks into the Gwen. I'm
yeah.
not entirely sure the thinking there, but again, you have a Zyra Khan. You probably just want to play that weak side top. So banning champs like
Mm,
Shen, like Ornn,
yeah.
perfectly agreeable
It
in
makes
my
sense
eyes.
in the sense that the enemy team doesn't want to play topside, so you want to
Yeah.
take away those good weak sides that you
Hmm.
can't really punish
Sure.
as a Gwen solo. Since I'm assuming that VIS eSport is also opting into playing bot side, since they do
Yeah.
have the Lucian arm as well. So you just want to give that Gwen a nice lane that she can easily dominate on her own without any
Sure.
jungle attention. Um,
I mean, enemy looking at this from a different angle, they're like, hey man, you're problem. We'll cover the mid lane. They opt for the Zoe and the Cassiopeia ban.
yeah. I'm not really sure if this is because of this esports mid laner plays Cashew and Zoe. I would
Hmm.
assume so, because both of those are not really meta.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm assuming that's why.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked like maybe a Victor ban,
Corgi,
um,
maybe something to that
and then maybe
extent.
a Vex, or maybe
Yeah.
even Corgi, or
Hmm. Hmm.
something annoying meta.
True. I mean, enemy then opting for the Lissandra, opting for the guaranteed CC. Um, I don't mind entirely, but it is crazy to me that Victor has lasted this long in the draft and only gets picked up now at the B4 spot as the answer to the Lissandra. I'm not a mid lane main, but I feel like Victor is pretty happy in that situation.
Yeah, I'd say so, yes. There's obviously the gang threat from the Senchao and Lissandra. You have to
Hmm.
play. You can't really play on Lissandra's side
Hmm.
of the lane as Victor, otherwise you will just get eat on by Lissandra and then
Hmm.
root it up, and
Yeah,
Senchao can follow up quite easily.
sure.
So that's like the only thing that you have to look out for. But other than that, it's quite an easy lane that you can free farm in.
Hmm.
Lissandra doesn't really have kill threat on you if you just stay safe.
Hmm.
And I think 1 to 2, maybe even 3 as well.
Hmm.
Victor should outtrade this Lissandra.
Hmm.
But once that level 4 comes in, when Lissandra gets another skill point and Q, I
Sure.
think that's where she will start to hurt as well. Um,
I mean, yeah. And the last blue side pick, I do want to talk about this because second
your microphone is cutting
priority.
out.
Oh, oops. Let me get a little bit closer to it then. But some very high draft priority put in on the Zac pick as we see the B5 Zac locked in. So yeah, they are opting for that Zac jungle. Uh Again, I feel like more engaged presence for the Lucian Nami. Everyone's just looking to full send it down on this bot lane, but yeah,
Hmm.
are you surprised by this Zac draft presence at all?
Yeah, quite. Because I don't really see it as a prio at
Hmm.
all,
Sure.
or a strong jungler at all. But
Hmm. Clearly, the SLE teams believe that Zac is the way forward here,
yeah,
and an R5 GP pick. Once you know that it is definitely Gwen top, and I feel like you have a bot lane as strong as Zyra Khan, VIS tried to ban out all of the kind of AFK top laners that can just chill out and scale, but they missed GP, and I think GP recently got buffed as well, right?
I'm not really sure, even
I
though I
think
should know.
I think GP is sleeper OP if you can actually play him. But again, we shall see in game. But I think GP has some crazy one shot potential, especially when the enemy team is as low range as like Lucian Gwen. So I think he's gonna have a real good time trying to get some barrel combos off. But again, I don't expect to see that until later on, because obviously you have a Zyra Rakan lane and you have a Lucian Nami lane. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, without further ado, I think it is about time that we hop into the Summoner's Rift and we get into VIS Esports versus Team Negative Mental Energy. Welcome back to the SLE. This is gonna be the play-in tournament. This is game 2 of today, the final game of today. Yeah, let's sit back and enjoy it. And do we expect to see any level 1 cheese plays? I know
Mm,
we saw them last game.
I don't think so. I think this game they will just do a standard 5 point.
Hmm.
Maybe they'll just do like a two-man stack somewhere or something. But other than that, I think it will just be a nice
Hmm.
stack, 5-man point. Um,
Xin
we
Zhao
do.
is gonna spot out Westman there.
That's an early ward from Xin Shao.
Hmm.
I feel like this ward doesn't really do much. Spots out the Gwen, but other than that, it doesn't really give
True.
information. The Zac will be farming until
Hmm.
um like 3 something, 3:15. I don't know how long his clear takes.
It
Um,
is looking like the Xin is gonna be starting topside as well, so good on him playing towards his bot lane, which again I expect to see a lot of attention from both sides, definitely.
yeah, I mean, again, we did see Weeby put
Hmm.
down the ward in the Elf Cove bush, as we saw in the
Hmm.
prior game as well, which is just a really strong ward.
Yeah,
It gives so much to the bot lane pressure. Um,
true. Now, what I do find interesting is Zac is actually going to be pathing away from this Lucianami bot lane here, perhaps thinking that, you know what, Lucianami into Zyra Khan, I feel like is quite favored for the Lucianami early game, especially with that Electrocute Nami. There is a lot of damage level 1 through level 3, level 4, but Jungler's gonna mirror each other here, or not mirror. They're gonna start on opposite sides of the map, so it'll be interesting as we do see some extremely aggressive level 1 trading onto this mid lane. Both mid laners opting for that electrocute. I know there are other options for both of them, but
yeah, there's
everyone looking for
the
the damage here as we be forced to flash out level 1. That is again a great use of the Rakan Grand Entrance. Is that what that's called?
I
The
have no
Rakan
idea.
W. But yeah, Nami gonna be forced to flash out level 1, and this is exactly what
Brilliant.
NME need to be doing as they do hit level 2 here. VIS Lucian is gonna look for an aggressive trade, but again, just gonna chunk out Zaya here. But yeah, Xin Zhao is now on the bot side, and there is a freeze set up. So Weeby not warding, perhaps giving the illusion of a ward as Zac might look here onto enemy. Shocking, the E is gonna miss, but she is gonna get rooted and her dash is gonna get cancelled. Shocking gonna be forced to flash away here, but the red buff ticking, it is not gonna be enough, and it's looking like they will gift this kill over to Rico, and that is first blood as Tiltproof now is looking at Lucian. He will connect, the knockup will go down, but Lucian will be just forced to flash the wall. A lot of aggression coming out here. Both junglers getting some early summoners, but ultimately Rico being the main benefactor of the jungle pressure as he does get that first blood. And first blood down onto a Victor. It's kind of huge for his passive as, again, there's some pretty
Yeah.
heavy trading going on here.
I mean, Victor getting early kills is really great because his passive did get changed a few seasons
Hmm.
ago. So you get 25 stacks and you need 100 to
Hmm.
get the what is good?
His Hex Core upgrade, or
Yeah, his upgrade on his
yeah.
abilities.
Mhm.
And very nicely played by Donner.
Pop Stoner, yeah, he timed his
Donner.
Q auto perfectly so that
Yeah.
Lissandra was unable to take her E out. So
Mm.
yeah, again, forced to flash, but again, the red buff slows just gonna come in, and also super well donated, I think, as now
Yeah, as well. Definitely. I mean, that was nice. I
yeah,
mean,
now
this is
no.
something we've seen these two games. Like,
Mhm.
they actually think about gifting the kills to the carries, which is nice to see. I think in
Of
Split
course.
1 they didn't really do it that much.
The
But already seeing
resource
it twice.
allocation from these teams is very, very strong now, as Looney is gonna get bubbled. Wave is gonna be too big, as the Zyra Khan lane doing a good job of keeping VIS at bay. Weeby and XCTC gonna be held off here. But yeah, generally speaking, I don't
This
know whether there's a big enough advantage one way or another to see anything major changing about the game right now. So
definitely not. But something that we did see is this Popstoner. He just comes up in the top lane. This is
mhm,
something that many junglers don't really do, especially in solo queue, helping laners push the wave out.
sure.
That is something you need to
Pups.
do. And
He is
yeah,
gonna look mid now. He might just help shove that in again, but yeah, as you said, really doing a job of helping his laners out and making sure that positions for them. And you know, again, he's doing it here again. He's making sure the wave and the Lissandra counter. What you want is there is a big forward gets knocked up, but the bubble gets flashed by NME Shikiorin. I'm sorry if I butchered that name, but a great flash onto the Nami bubble. The exhaust comes out, the ignite comes out, and XCTC just does not have the damage to finish off the Xayah. And yeah, perhaps getting a little bit over aggressive there in that bot lane.
yeah. I mean, he also eat directly into the line of feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so and then it's very easy for Saya to just proceed there, and then you
Yep.
get the root and you get like 200 damage from those feathers, and then lay it on top of the Rakan W. It is just a secure kill uh,
Yeah.
at that point. So very nicely played by the enemy or the negative mental bot lane.
Yeah, I agree
Um,
completely. And off the back of that all in, they will also get themselves the first Drake, the Chemtank Drake, Chemtech? No, not Chemtech. Chemtech, yeah, Chemtech Drake.
Chemtech Drake, yes.
That is a lot of increased damage. However, I mean, ultimately, I'm not a big early Drake enjoyer. I don't know how better to say that, but I think definitely in this case it is Drake to be picking up, as we
Mm.
do start to see a bit of a CS lead growing here in the mid lane for VIS, but also in response a wave up for this GP in the top lane. Is this expected, or how do you think this is going? As I say, that enemy is looking to gank mid. Rico just gonna flash out. The GP ult gonna come down, so enemy are gonna chase this. The Zac is here for counter engage, and I think Pup Stoner might look for CC, but it's looking like nothing will come from that, as the ghost also popped from Rico there, as he will just look for some light trading back. Lucian now hits 6, flashes the knock up. Weeby also flashes forward, but the E comes down from Xayah. Is it going to be enough? The slow comes out. Now the ignite goes down onto Looney. Dash comes up again, and that is 2 secured kills. 2v2 kill in the bot lane. 1 kill going over to either of them, and you got to respect the level 6 of Lucian. I
Yeah,
think
you
that's what that comes
definitely
down to.
has to. Especially when you have a slow pushing wave into you, there's no reason to be standing that far up, because you know he just hit level 6, and you know you have to be careful of the ulti. Very nice flash from him to dodge the Rakan W,
Mhm.
to secure the extra damage onto Saya. Um, but
But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, again, I feel like he knows that Zyra Khan just used all their summoners in that 2v2 altercation they had. So, oh, and we do see Westman ulting forward here. The Ignite will also get dropped, and he will just pick up a kill. Bipolar just walking a little bit too far up this lane and not respecting the Gwen damage.
Yeah, Gwen hits his M-tone power spike. You have to be careful. This is a well-known information.
Welcome to newer champs for League of Legends. For those who aren't aware, the newer the champion, the stronger it gets, the better it scales, and the earlier it power spikes. Welcome to season
Yes,
12.
welcome to League of Legends. Oh,
GP just falling to the old champion curse, unfortunately. There.
true. But I
There's
mean,
a
he can still make it out of lane and be useful, and he still has the GP ability, not up right now, but I mean in general, so he will still have a lot of impact, even if he.
True, and the
Oh.
double bubble connects here. Looney does have, or the AD carry does have the ulti, forced to use it here because Pups on are ganked, and they might get the turn on delusion as the does go down. Will trade kill, 2 for 1. Tiltproof is down here now as Pups Donner might not be finished. No, he is done after his ulti. But yes, 2 for 1. But again, I mean, XCTC is doing a good job of getting his damage off, but every time he E's forward, he is a sitting duck for the recall of feathers for the Xayah and Zac. Pups Donner will go in here again. A ton of damage coming out with the Nami. The aftershock crop, the Nami wave will come down. Tiltproof is going to be forced to ulti and flash away, but Pups Donner is not done yet. The red smite comes down and the healing comes out from Tiltproof, but it is not going to be enough. And they will pick up Tiltproof there, trying to fix the wave, but Pups Donner not done, as we will see some trading in the mid lane, as it might just be a one-shot coming down. Rico, shocking, not able to get out of that one, as the ult will come down and the stun will again cancel Shocking's dash on the Lissandra.
Yeah. I mean, this is very well played from Rico. I mean, he knows.
Yeah.
It seems like he knows the limits. Shocking,
Oh,
not
yes.
quite taking the E before he got stunned, which is a bit unfortunate. And he even had the ulti and the flash up. So
Yeah, but again, generally just well played from Rico, and we do see now that gold lead starting to open up. 4K now, but it is gonna look like Pups Donner is back in this bot lane again. Can the AD carry from enemy get out here? The ignite is ticking. Pups Donner is gonna auto that final kill, and I mean, you're an AD carry without flash, without ult. You're extremely immobile. You are a sitting duck for a lane like Lucian Nami, where Zac is also in the area, and Pups Donner doing a great job of getting his lanes ahead, and this is exactly what we expected with the Zac pick, as the Weeby and Pups Donner will walk into the jungle here and just clear out some vision.
yeah. I mean, this Xayah is not really respecting the threat of this Zac with the Nami illusion. They can pummel out so much damage at this point, especially with the lead as well. I mean, it's not really that huge of a lead, it's more on the Nami. But,
Yeah.
I mean, goal on Nami equals damage on Lucian.
Yeah.
Because of the AP she gets and the CDR she gets from the Kindle gem as well.
I mean, while you say that, I will like to point out we are going to get the Hex Tech Drake Soul, so we are going to see some Hex Gates open across the map. Still a relatively new mechanic, so I would like to see how both junglers and both teams kind of change the way they want to play around the Hex Gate. As I don't know if Xin is looking to start up the Herald here. He is going to jump the wall, and it does look like he's going to start it up. They aren't aware, but
yeah, he has started it up, so I mean,
he does not have priority in. Does he have priority in top lane? Not entirely. So if he gets caught here, he might find himself in a bit of a tough situation. Zac is walking up to check on it, and they will now see that Xin is on it, and it might just come down to a smite fight as the Zac E will connect. The root will come down. Tiltproof forced to ult early, and Zac will just pick this up. The smite forced out early, and now Tiltproof is just going to get picked up for free. And the Nami will also get engaged on forced ulti, forced flash in exchange for Looney's ult flash. But I think I made a mistake, and I think Tiltproof actually did get that.
Yeah, Tiltproof did get the Herald. He did win the smite fight.
So I guess well played for him for winning that smite fight. But yes,
But is it worth it though?
True, because now again he's gonna lose a lot of his top side, and Bipolar needs to be careful. They might look for a dive here. I'm not sure if they know that Zac is looking for this, but Again, with huge trades going down onto Zaya here. The flash ult forward, Zaya ult also going to come out. Is it going to be enough? No, the tower shot just not enough to kill Lucian. And now they are going to die. The TP comes out top. The GP ult also comes down. And now Pup Donner is forced to run with his tail between his legs as Lissandra is not going to keep chasing that. But, whew. And as I say that, Xin is now looking for this bot play. Lucian does not have the ultimate. Again, the initial engage comes down. The bubble will go down, but Looney not done with a great knock up onto Weeby. Weeby has no flash. Weeby has no ulti. We shall see now. Will Tiltproof give it up? He does give it up. He's not the dash. And Shocking potentially also caught here. Will get the second part of his dash off this time, so he will get out. But a huge amount of damage coming out from Rico, and it does look like First Blood Tower might fall here, and Rico might pick it up. But he might have to wait for one more wave to do that. No, he will pick that up, and we see a 3-0 Victor.
And a 3k gold. Holy moly. I mean, he should be sitting at a... Yeah, he's sitting at a 1.6k gold in the bank. And, I mean, this Victor is just so far ahead of this Lissandra. It seems very unplayable for the Lissandra. The Lissandra is also down 2 levels. Which is very huge at this early stage, which is something you only really see when you get into the later stages, and when the one mid laner can get the side laner.
Rico gonna flash out and just gonna get one shot there, but again now enemy forced to run with their tail between the legs. Pup Donner gonna flash forward. Tiltproof gonna dash to him, but then the Zac ulti does come out, and that is 2 more kills coming out for Rico. And I mean, this only gets worse as now enemy's bot laner is also going to get 1v1 through exhaust. Unfortunate there. And it's looking like everything's coming up here for the side of VIS eSports. They do now see an 8, almost 9k goal lead in 15 minutes.
I mean, it's almost like we're just running back the EVO versus CCG game. They were also around, like, when they also like 9k ahead. At
True, another
at
heavily snowballed team, and looking like a blue side diff today.
Yeah, blue side definitely having the higher win rate so far, since they have 100% win rate for today, and it's looking like it's gonna stay at 100% win rate as the game is going right now.
This is a 2-item Victor in 16 minutes.
This is very scary, because usually Victor is a late game carry and not a early game carry.
The Weeby ulti defensively coming out here. GP has his ult. He might look for something here. The ulti does come out from GP, but the healing coming out from Westman there with the Conqueror and the Ignite just confirms the trade back kill. A crazy outplay there. However, Tiltproof is in the lane now just to drop the Herald, but again, Shocking forced to ulti here, but Rico is just going to wait this out. I wonder if he has enough to live, but Lucian, the Gale Force plus the culling is just going to catch it out. Shocking trying his best there with the flash, but it is not enough to get him out of that one. 0-4-0 now. It is not looking too good for him in this lane.
I mean, Shocking has not even finished his first item yet. And
is this a
Rico
Victor or a Draven? When did they buff him to give Draven passive?
True. I mean, if we take a look...
Ouch. Enemy looking for an aggressive trade, but their tower's gone, and... Okay, the charm comes down, the knock comes down. I was not expecting that one, as XCTC getting a little bit, you know, biting off a bit more than he could chew, perhaps thinking that Rico was going to back him up there, but they got the tower, but... Again, the Zaya route with the Rakan knock-up, the Rakan ult, that's a lot of CC, and he just gets one shot before he gets the chance to do anything, and Weeby will meet with Tiltproof here. Nothing really going to come from it, just a handshake and a hello traded. Tiltproof will go back to his red buff.
I've just noticed that Xin Xiao is running the Eclipse instead of the Goldringer.
Opting for the damage-heavy build is again Rico using his mid-prio and these towers that he does now have to start to choke out the vision game of enemy, and they might look for his top tower, but again, enemy are 4-man strong at this, but they might just look to dive. Shocking as he gets blown up. Rico picks up the kill. Westman again, ult used, and now Tiltproof has to be kind of careful. However, they no longer have the Gwen ult, but they do still have, I think Victor ult is up, but Westman is just going to go forward, force out the flash from Tilt Proof, and now Pup Donner is going to look to go in. Unfortunately, they don't get anything, but again, NME forced to run away from this fight. There is nothing they can do, as they will lose their first top-down tower, and Rico and Weeby and Westman are going to march down onto this tier 2, as enemy are going to perhaps look to contest it, but they might be unsuccessful here, as Westman is just going to look to finish this tower. W comes down, the root comes down, but the tower will fall, and now Xayah forced to ulti flash. Is he going to get around? It is. Whoa! Gonna get her living on 1 HP. Weeby's Ignite just barely not enough. Woo!
Poof. That was close.
Oh yeah, I can see the sweat on
Yeah.
Is it pronounced Shikiorin? Shikiorin?
I mean, I'd just call him Shiki, to be honest.
Yeah, Shiki.
But I think it is Shikiorin.
Forehead there.
But to short it up, we just call him Shiki. Yeah. Why? Well, at least.
Yeah, Shiki just barely living, and now VIS eSports just looking to take this second Herald right before it despawns. You know, again, perhaps just gonna use it to look to open up the base of Team Enemy. But again, Enemy kind of just at the will of VIS eSports here, because again, they're missing all of their topside towers. They're forced just to sit in their base. They don't have the ability to walk up into their jungle and to get vision, because time and time again we see Rico, we see Weeby teaming up with Pups Donner to just go through push mid and then just clear out all the vision. As soon as I say that, that is not what they do. They just back off for a little bit. I take that back, and I mean, Enemy, I think, perhaps looking for a full 5-man play onto bot lane as the also ulting, but all the ults coming out. The Gwen ult is not enough, and the CC comes down from Shocking's ult, and he will pick up that kill. And I mean, this is what enemy needs to do. They need to sync up. They need to find these picks in the side lanes. And again, was that a shutdown? I can't quite remember.
It was not a shutdown.
Unfortunately, not a shutdown, but this is the gold, the income that this team needs, that Shocking needs to get himself back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we saw from last game as well, and what we talked about last game, what CSCG has to do. Enemy has to do the same things. They have to find these picks, they have to find these shutdowns, preferably onto Rico as well. But I don't think they can really touch Rico. I think too many members are going to be around him at all time, because they are going to play like a bodyguard type game where they just protect Rico and
then Mr. President kind of comp.
Yeah, exactly. So they will probably look mostly towards the west, man. Something that I've been thought about. Do you think we will see an early Baron again, as we saw in the Team Evo game?
I think if VIS want the Baron, they are well within their rights to go over and take it. But I think with a champ like Zac and with the Nami Lucian, I think they're almost more encouraged just to look for that huge engage. They are 9k gold up, and I really think they want to throw that weight around. I don't think they're looking at a Baron as tilt proof here. Just going to catch out Rico, and nothing is going to happen except a bit of poke. But a GP, the barrel combo not going to connect, and both sides here looking to collapse onto this bot lane for this tier 2, and tilt proof will get hugely poked now as Shiri does look for X. Okay, the both ultis gonna be traded, but Looney is not done yet with the ult gonna come out. Flash from Lucian here, and ultimately nothing gonna happen. The 80 carries both sides, looking a bit aggressive here, and Bipolar will just get one shot, 100-0 by Rico. That is a 7-0, and I don't even think Westman got an opportunity to get an assist there.
No, I mean, he tried with the ulti, but Rico just one-popped him without any help. But I mean, it was a 6-0 Victor, which is almost sitting at 3 items. Do have 11k gold, and
he is by far the richest man on Summoner's Rift right now.
He definitely is. I mean, and then again, like, it just seems like we have like the same game over again as we've just seen in the Team Evo game, where they're just kind of slowly bleeding out. So I think my prediction for this game would be that it will be done in about 5 minutes maximum.
Sure, and I mean, with the Drake spawning in 4 minutes, that's kind of enemy's like timer, right? Now Rico might have overstayed here. Enemy 5-man strong in this bot lane as GP ulti does come down for the slow, but it is not enough to encourage the full commitment of his team, and Rico will just walk out of that one.
Yeah, I mean that would have been nice if they could have gotten the pick on to Rico, got the 1k shot down,
Yeah.
and then preferably onto like the GP, I'd say. Since I don't think the Xayah can really 1v9 carry, Lisandro's not gonna do anything. The Sun Xiao is also not gonna do anything.
And now VIS set their sights onto this Baron. Again, if they want it, they shall take it. I think that they definitely have the strength to take this Baron, but it is going to look pretty slow without the Gwen, without the Victor being there. But again, I don't think enemy has any knowledge of this. I mean, I think they might suspect it, but they just don't have the means to go blindly face checking it, as Westman will now help out the Baron effort, as will Rico, and it will go down. Baron power play over to the side of VIS eSports, and I think we can expect to see a couple of inhibitors dropping here.
Yeah, I think that they will probably end with this Baron.
Oh, and we do say that, but Weeby is going to get caught out here by the Xayah. Looney too far forward, though, and gets caught out. Popstoner now has to run away. The Xayah ult does come down. Tiltproof might not be done here, but Rico he's just sat there. So much damage, and now he's forced to flash away, but Rico's not done. Gonna flash forward, and that is gonna be good by Tiltproof. And now that is 2 members down for the side of NME. Unfortunately, Bipolar, the chain does not come out, and Baron empowered minions are gonna march down onto the base of enemy as they do play 2 lanes here. And I mean, again, Rico just with tons of damage, but enemy gonna try their best to respond here. They are gonna save both of their towers for now, but it is looking particularly difficult for them at the moment to even find correct fights, despite getting honestly initially a really good pick with Shiri finding the route there onto the Nami. But again, Looney just going a little bit too far forward as the Gwen TP will come down now onto the bot lane. All 3 lanes are pressured now and pushing into enemy, but enemy trying desperately to look for some vision here, to look for some control, and to look for some kind of a pick. As they will everyone gonna march down to the bot lane now. Tiltproof looking a little bit, probing a little bit far forward with his Oracle lens on. But now Popstoner has that flank angle. I don't know if they have spotted him on that ward. I mean, the Lissandra will now see him, but ultimately it all comes to nothing as Westman not gonna get caught. Nothing gonna happen there. He is gonna look for a trade. Popstoner is gonna E forward, but they might look for the re-engage here as Popstoner forced to ult, but Tiltproof's again just gonna get blown shot. Looney is gonna flash forward and Weeby's gonna pick up that kill, and now it is just Xayah, and Xayah is just gonna get completely blown up. This is what VIS Esports were waiting for, that one little overextension, and unfortunately for them, this might just be the end of the game here. Bipolar is just left to sit under his 2 Nexus towers, and I mean, Popstoner will just get the E onto him. The exhaust is going to go down, and he is just going to get completely one-shot. And that is going to look to be the end of the game here as VIS, Baron Empowered Minions Strong, are going to march down the Nexus of NME.
Yeah, I mean, very strong performance coming out from the 2 winners of the two games today. Something that we didn't really see much of is that Rico actually wasn't part of the last fight at all.
Yeah, true.
He was just sitting mid and chilling. So
yeah,
it was just a done game at that point. But yeah, very nice games today. 2 teams really showing up that they are not here to play. They are here to win. VIS Esport and Team Evo. I mean, looking like 2 Div 1 teams. It's gonna be interesting to see those teams clash up against each other. I think that's gonna be one of the hype matches of
course.
of SLEs, since they're both looking very strong, as rated in my tier list as well. They are both top teams.
I mean, without probing too directly, who do you think has the best chance, or who's sitting at the top of your tier list right now? Like, what team are you like? You know what? I've got my eye on these guys. I think these guys are gonna be places.
Well, I mean, there was the Team Lotus,
Mm-hmm.
Lotus Glamorous, or
Mm-hmm.
I think they were called. That team looked really, really strong.
Okay,
Um,
I don't think we've seen them play yet, but
no, it's the old SG Momentum from Split One. They have Flay today, they have
ah,
Rusu, and they have gotten in, and I think they still have the same Eddie Carey. I forgot what he's called, Ben 2-1, I think it is, if I'm not
Ben Tool.
mistaken.
That's a memorable name, but I think they might be. I'm not sure if they're completely settled on a jungler yet.
They
That
aren't.
is,
There was some complications, but they're looking for a jungler right now. But
and I think if they find someone that fits for them and works really well, I Team Lotus, that old team momentum, definitely has huge potential to come
mm,
into this tournament and take the win. Because if I'm not mistaken, they were they runners up last split, or did they
um,
fall short just before the
they
finals?
fell short to. It was Red Team One that
Red
took
team won, gonna knock them
the
out of the tournament.
the regular split win. I'm quite sure, and then
Mm-hmm.
it was what do they call it again?
NSG.
Yeah, NSG that took the playoffs win. Um,
But yeah, and I mean, I think we can expect to see again a couple of those teams coming back. Obviously, Team Lotus name change, Team Momentum. I honestly think Team Evo, VIS eSports, both of these teams are
yeah,
definitely going to be putting their names in the hat for
also
this
those two.
split.
Um, Another team is Negative Gaming, and which is some familiar.
Some
I can't.
familiar faces there.
Yeah, there's the jungler Dodge, as we saw from
Yeah.
last year, last split as well.
Hmm.
NSG Forsaken, which
Yes.
is the previous winners. I'm
Hmm.
quite sure they swapped out the top laner.
Hmm.
But it's still gonna be Paradise, Parker Watcher, Kaiser Mummy, and Luchesco on the roster. So we'll see how they can fight their way through, and maybe or how they will deal with these new teams coming
Hmm.
in that are looking very strong. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think this split is worth a much more competitive natured split than last season. And it's going to be super interesting to see how all the teams navigate these new teams coming in. And obviously, with their own changes, individual teams, I think we're super fortunate this season, especially to have such a wide variety of teams, play styles. And again, I hope it's going to be super close and super well competed for.
mm, yeah, I hope so as well. But that will be something that we will see in the future.
True.
Um,
All we can do is wait to see how that unfolds. But I think
yes.
that draws us to a close of today's stream. So thank you so much, Jonas, for tuning in, casting for us today. Thank you to the teams. But
Yeah.
I think that'll be all from us, and we shall catch you guys next time.
A quick reminder: there will be from my side, there
Hmm.
will be a tier list mid split for Division One and Division Two.
Oh,
Might even be on stream this time.
Jonas's
Um,
thoughts coming soon.
we can probably look to work something out there. It will be after
Hmm.
that this Division 1 have been settled and Division
Hmm.
2, and probably after a few games. Um,
Sure, we'll look to settle down. We'll get a podcast going. See how the splits kind of
yeah.
started up. See who we should be watching. Who the ones to watch. The teams to expect great things from. That sort of thing.
Mm, all of that. But yeah, for now, I don't think we have anything more.
No, so thank you so much for tuning in. We shall see you guys next.